Our next major milestone being that undocking on track for about 16 minutes from now at 5:36 p.m. Central. First, the command to undock will be given about 2 minutes before the actual separation at 5:34. At that time, the series of hooks holding the Soyuz craft in place to the Earth-facing side of the station, currently attached to the Rassvet module, will drive back, and then springs between the two craft will push off. Soyuz will then move away at a very slow descent rate of about 1/10 of a meter per second before doing some separation burns and building some space away from the International Space Station. Following that, some time later, it'll conduct this deorbit burn, slowing the craft down enough to begin the descent through the Earth's atmosphere. Once it's slowed down enough, the atmospheric drag and gravity will take over and do the rest. The next major task will be module separation, with the upper orbital and lower service modules detaching and burning up in the Earth's atmosphere. The descent module with its heat shield will then continue to go down, protecting the crew from the heat of reentry until final parachute deployment. The first two pilot parachutes will deploy, and then the second one will extract the drogue chute, which you see in this animation here. That'll do the initial slowing of the Soyuz from 230 meters per second down to only 80 meters per second. Then the main parachute will deploy, slowing the craft to a much more manageable 7.2 meters per second. Then finally, right before landing, the soft landing jets fire, further slowing the craft down, and the crew will touch down in Kazakhstan. They'll be landing just to the southeast of the town of Zhezkazgan, where a lot of the search and recovery forces will be staging out of. And then here, this view, you can see the landing site as it is in Kazakhstan, in the central portion of the country. Again, it's expected to be early morning. It'll be about 2 hours and 11 minutes after sunrise when they touch down in Kazakhstan. The search and recovery forces will be out there in advance of the landing, getting to the zone in multiple vehicles, among them a couple of command and control planes, which will serve as command centers for the forces, and coordinating, and also responsible for establishing communication with the Soyuz craft during its final descent phases. Communication often pretty spotty as the craft enters through the Earth's atmosphere, given the vast distance between it and the station and the plasma buildup during re-entry. But some of the first comms following module separation generally will come with the search and recovery airplanes. A number of crew also getting out there in the Russian Mi-8 helicopters, which will form a racetrack pattern around the landing zone a few hours in advance of actual touchdown, and be on standby for getting recovery personnel to the crew at a very quick pace. And then also a number of all-terrain vehicles will be routed out there with additional logistical equipment, such as the medical tent, which is traditionally set up just a short distance away from the landing zone, where the initial medical checkouts of the crew are performed before bringing them back for their flights back to their home bases. But for now, still on track for that undocking from the International Space Station, counting down just about 12 minutes from now. The undocking command, again, given 2 minutes before at 5:34 p.m. Central, just 10 minutes from now. It'll take about 2 minutes following the command for the hooks to drive, and then the springs will push back and initiate physical separation. Should hopefully get a view from one of the cameras on board the Soyuz craft and be able to see the station depart in the distance. This right here, a view inside of the Russian Mission Control Center, located just outside of Moscow in Koryov. The Russian flight controller is responsible for communicating with the crew, monitoring the telemetry on board the Soyuz craft during all of tonight's dynamic activities. Here you can see the basic layout of the descent module, where the three departing astronauts are currently situated. In the center seat will be the Soyuz craft commander, Mikhail Turin. And then in the left seat will be the board engineer, kind of Turin's backup for all of the operations, and that'll be NASA astronaut Rick Mastracchio. Then on the right seat, as flight engineer number 2, will be Koichi Wakata, who until yesterday was the commander of the International Space Station. He was the first Japanese commander of the orbiting complex, and just yesterday handed over command to NASA astronaut Steve Swanson, who will command the station during its Expedition 40 increment, which will begin formally once the physical separation of the Soyuz has occurred. So just about 10 minutes now from that expected undocking of the Soyuz TMA-11M spacecraft. Should get pretty regular communication between the Russian Mission Control Center and the astronauts on board. Again, they closed the hatches a few hours ago, just about 3 hours ago exactly. Since then, they've been conducting a series of leak checks on the vehicle itself, ensuring that they have a tight seal and all the systems are in order. The three on board also getting into their Sokol launch and entry suits, and doing a few leak checks on those suits as well. Everything coming down to the flight controllers, reporting everything going nominally, so going as expected, not tracking any issues with the suits or the vehicle itself for tonight's activities. The station right now is approaching Russian ground sites. Those are the bright yellow circles you can see on this ground track. The station itself is currently about 260 statute miles, just about to cross over Central Asia. It's actually just over India right now, and we'll pass over Central and Northern China and Mongolia.
It's 3 a.m. Yes, I copy. I remember now. That's the next. It's not the same RDR yet.
So just a little under 6 minutes now from that undocking command. Again, about 2 minutes after the command is given, the Soyuz TMA-11M will detach. You can see the current station configuration here. The Soyuz, which will be departing tonight, is currently attached to the Rosviet module on the Earth-facing side of the Zarya module on board the International Space Station. It's kind of in the lower middle part of your screen. Immediately to its right is Progress 55. Which is docked to Pirs on the Earth-facing side of Zvezda. It's one of 3 cargo craft currently docked, the other being Progress 53 on the very aft end of Zvezda, and also the SpaceX Dragon vehicle, currently docked to the Earth-facing side of Harmony. And then one other Soyuz craft currently docked, which will remain, and it's the one that carried Swanson, Artemiev, and Skvortsov up to the station. That's Soyuz TMA-12M, currently docked to the...
01.
Currently docked to the Poisk module on the space-facing side of Zvezda. So again, the vehicle set to depart in just about 6 or 7 minutes from now. The Soyuz 37 or TMA-11M. Once it's departed, there will be, again, TMA-12M will still be attached to the station, as well as the 3 unmanned cargo craft.
Accelerometer we covered. The repressor pedal we covered. All the indicators are on and off. So we're standing by for your report. We activated inaudible. Copy. So we are monitoring the format. 44. So we have the mode now. So if you want, we can send you an image. So it's a free drift mode. Yes, we monitor. Copy, Mikhail. So there is maneuver. There is no GSO yet. No in attitude. Yes.
RDR confirmed by telemetry.
CDU parameters. Nominal. The pressure in the spherical tank is nominal. The propellant components are nominal, no change. Okay, we will have installation very soon. You don't have to activate the light, the flashlight.
So we're just past the 2-minute mark now from the planned undocking command. And once that command is given, it'll take about 2 minutes again for all of the hooks to drive, and then the springs to push the Soyuz craft away from the station.
We have started to receive the signal from you.
And now we're starting to get a live view from the Russian ground station signal camera found on board the Soyuz.
Yeah, could you please make a full screen in work?
This again a view from directly on that Soyuz craft set to depart, looking straight back at the Rassvet module.
Yes, the in-attitude signal.
Station just now coming out of a nighttime pass, so light conditions should improve over the next few minutes.
Yes, it is done. Copy. Okay, the boom is nominal. The latches are open. And we have prepared the command for undocking. On your go, we will send the command. Okay. 01:34:30 is the time for the command. Are you ready? Yes, I am. Good. 5 seconds.
Here we go.
01:34:30. We have sent the command for the undocking. The hooks are open.
So just confirm the command has been given. The hooks holding the Soyuz craft in place, beginning to drive.
Any more?
Again, it takes about 2 minutes after the command for the physical separation to occur, so we'll stand by over the next 2 minutes.
And
Soyuz craft initially departing at a rate of only about 1/10 of a meter per second.
34:30.
Rick,
Rick, could you please prepare the timer? Okay, copy. Will do. When the
1 minute has now passed since that undocking command was sent.
Mechanical connection, but during the...
Continuing to stand by for physical separation.
Yes, I understand, Mikhail. There is still time.
2 минуты еще есть это, да.
Maybe 2 minutes.
Опа, есть физическое расхождение. Режим ССВП выполнен.
Now we have SSPP mode.
And physical separation confirmed.
Observe mechanical separation.
Смотрим стыковочный узел.
We look at the docking interface now. We inspect
Physical
it.
separation coming right on the dot, pretty much at 5:36 p.m. Central, while the station's flying 261 statute miles over Mongolia.
Panel.
So the Soyuz craft, TMA 11M, carrying Mikhail Turin, Rick Mastracchio, and Koichi Wakata, now separated from the International Space Station,
We
beginning the journey home for these three after spending 188 days in space.
Расхождение плавное.
So we separate
Где-то близко
smoothly.
к оси
We are
стыковочного узла.
close to the axis of the docking mechanism.
Пересечение наблюдаем.
So
По ориентации тоже все стабильно.
and attitude is
ЛБ,
stable.
БД. Ага. ББ1 выбраны.
BB1 has been selected.
Принято.
Copy.
Так, вы наблюдаете тоже стыковочный узел, да?
So you also see the docking interface, Moscow.
Наблюдаем.
Yes, we see the docking interface as well.
Ожидаем.
We
Again, the Soyuz craft continuing to depart at just a little over a meter per second. That physical separation coming went right on time at 5:36 p.m. Central. And the Soyuz and the International Space Station were 261 statute miles over Mongolia.
Я вижу твой секундомер.
I
In just about a minute or so, the Soyuz craft will execute a 15-second burn of engines to increase the rate of departure from the International Space Station.
Минута до включения ДПО.
1 minute before the DPO activation.
У нас есть один,
We have GSO 1-2.
ББ1 выбран.
BB1 has been selected.
Без сомнения.
No doubt.
Все. Включится двигатель.
Okay, very soon the thrusters will be activated.
Так, суп. И, значит,
All right, Moscow.
заканчивается у нас эта динамика выдачи,
So
как мы на тренировке обсуждали.
when we discussed it during the training,
ОДР по КРЛ, правильно?
so ODR should be sent via KRL, correct?
Да, все верно.
Yes, that's correct. Dynamic mode inhibited.
Включение двигателя. 10 секунд ожидаем.
In 10 seconds, the thrusters will be activated.
5 секунд.
5 seconds.
Есть включение ДПО.
We have DPO enable. Activation.
And so the separation burn confirmed. The craft now about 15 to 20 meters away from the International Space Station. This will be a 15-second firing of the Soyuz engines to increase the rate of departure by about a half a meter per second.
Activated.
Расхождение со станции.
We can see the separation. From the station, we can see everything very clearly.
Движение, динамика стабильная.
The dynamics
Близко к
is
оси стыковочного
stable. It's near the axis of the docking mechanism.
поперечного.
No fluctuation
Скоростям и
across
состоянием по угловым скоростям.
the angle rates or anything like this. This everything is stable. ODR should be sent via KRL.
Принято, часть 40, ожидаем ОДР.
Okay,
Доложим.
we will be standing by for ODR and we will report it to you.
5 секунд.
6 seconds.
Так, ОДР прошел.
ODR
Выключились,
is
надув, иду,
sent.
снялся.
KRL repress is not illuminated anymore.
Акселерометр выключен.
Accelerometer has been deactivated.
Программная. Сейчас посмотрим.
Okay, we will monitor the program on the panel.
РФ суммарное снялось. И включаем
So
И1 ЗДР.
we are activating E1 ZDR.
ЗД. Ага. ЗД.
ZDR.
Нет, сейчас не прошла. Да, еще разок.
Press it once more.
Не выдавайте пока Г4.
Yes, you can send it.
ГДР тоже можно не вводить. Сейчас будет по КРЛ запись ставок.
Okay, so we will send the command via KRL right now. So you don't... Could you please repeat, Slava? Because I didn't read your last.
Сейчас будут записываться ставки, ничего пока не делайте.
So don't do anything, for some time. We will dictate the settings to you. Okay, now we have ZDR illuminated. Everything is nominal.
Г4 выключаем?
So should we deactivate G4?
Не трогайте.
Not yet. Don't touch it yet. Okay?
Ничего не делаем.
So we don't have to do anything.
Не выдаем.
So we're not sending G4.
Да, пока ничего не делайте.
Don't do anything right now, Mikhail, for a while.
Принято.
Okay, copy, Moscow.
Востоке заложено.
Okay, so the settings for the descent have been
Дальше работает.
sent via KRL, so
Трансляция.
you can proceed
Дальше по 97-й странице.
for page 97.
Принято, работаем.
Copy, in work.
Г4, да?
Is it G4? Yes, that's correct.
Г4, виду команду.
G4 has been sent.
Г8. Г8, ССВП.
G8,
Отключил.
I've deactivated.
Again, the trio of departing crew members, NASA astronaut Rick Mastracchio, Japanese astronaut Koichi Wakata, and Russian cosmonaut Mikhail Turin, have undocked from the International Space Station and are right now continuing to widen the gap between themselves in their Soyuz craft and the orbiting laboratory. The undock coming right on time at 5:36 p.m. Central, while the station complex was flying 261 statute miles over Mongolia. The separation burn also being confirmed to have been done successfully, that coming at 5:39 p.m. Central.
3 and 18.3. The second one.
Right now you can see the crafts currently both about to head out over the northern Pacific Ocean. Over the next few hours, the distance will continue to widen between the Soyuz and its recent home, the International Space Station. The next major task will be a deorbit burn coming a few hours from now at 8:04 p.m. Central Time. But for now, the three crew members have spent 188 days on board the International Space Station. That coming to an end tonight as they are now on their way towards that landing in Kazakhstan just a few hours from now. Here again, you see a map of the landing site. They'll be coming in and landing just in the central part of the country to the southeast of the town of Zhezkazgan. They'll be recovered by the search and recovery forces that are on hand and mobilizing and getting ready to head out and prepare for the landing. It'll be just about 2 hours after sunrise in Kazakhstan by the time they touch down.